Immigration as an election issue was launched today. Ukip set out its stall, mildly irritated by the brief presence of an uninvited guest, the British National Party.
Ukip, what started off to be in a decent environment, is now a sham.
Its van orbited the square in the centre of Sheffield, while Ukip's leader batted off accusations that a series of election posters were comparable to past versions from the extreme right.
Perhaps some of these images would get the chattering classes chattering. Well, they are chattering. In fact, they're outraged. They're outraged because we're actually telling the truth. There's nothing we're saying here that isn't true.
The one unveiled was the mildest of the four ads. Others to go up have more potent messages. There's the one which claims British workers are hit hard by unlimited cheap labour, and another implying Europe's 26 million unemployed are after British jobs. Immigration is the issue in this campaign. It's inherent in every statement on Ukip's posters and is mentioned in virtually every other line spoken by its leader. And it resonates in northern towns up here like Sheffield. The message may have moved on from the Go Home Vans campaign by the government 2 summers ago, and even Gordon Brown's British jobs for British workers. But the undertow is the same. There may not have been unanimous approval from the post-bank holiday shoppers, but then neither was there the shrug of the apathetic.
Sheffield isn't how you'll remember it, you know. That's it's quite a thing, isn't it, with us?
It's altered for the better in some ways, but for the worse in quite a lot of ways. And I think we sort of echo the feelings of Little Britain, I suppose.
I actually got made redundant because a group, it was mainly Polish, came in, and I got made redundant and I felt it was because of that. Definitely.
So you're quite resentful of people coming here?
I am, yeah, I am. I'm not racist about like that, but I think it's unfair. I think they're getting checked differently to us.
It's given racism an acceptable face, isn't it? Saying you're allowed to be racist, but on the other hand, we're not really racist, you know. But I think they are. I think they are.
Can you explain to me perhaps why the tag of racist and nasty seems to follow you around in your party?
Well, because the political establishment do not even want these issues discussed. I mean, leaving the EU 10 years ago was considered wholly disreputable. Even discussing sensible immigration controls was said to be, particularly by New Labour, racist. And we have not been frightened to talk about these issues, but to do it in a way where we're not against anybody, we're not prejudiced against anybody, but we do think it's about time ordinary British folk got half a chance.
But all you seem to be talking about is either keeping people out or kicking people out.
No, we've never talked about kicking people out. And actually, you know, you can try as hard as you want, Channel 4 News always do, to say we're obsessed with immigration. We're actually talking about the fact that it costs us money to be in the EU. We're talking about the fact that the majority of our laws are made in the EU. Yes, of course we're talking about the fact that the number one issue in British politics, and now supported by 77% of the overall population, is that we need to get back some degree of control over our borders.
The Prime Minister today wouldn't be drawn on the immigration issue, relying instead on the promise of a referendum for change.
Parties have to defend their own advertising campaigns, so they'll have to do that. What I want to talk about is the issues. And when it comes to the issues in this European election, I'm absolutely clear that if you want change in Europe, if you want to see the renegotiation I'm talking about, the referendum in terms of an in-out referendum for Britain, the changes in Europe that we want to see, then the only party that can deliver that is the Conservative Party.
But both Labour and the Lib Dems have denounced Ukip as playing on fear. Yet fear may well drive many more to the polls.